Hey everybody, welcome to my channel once again. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. On this video today, I wanted to focus on the pay rates for RNs here in the United States. I wanted to talk about how much a registered nurse is worth here in the United States. So the main reason why I relocated to this land definitely was for better opportunities for me, better opportunities for my children, generally just better opportunities for my family at large. And at this point, I would say I have no regrets whatsoever. So far, so good. I would say advancement career-wise is very eminent. I would say that my kids stand a better chance at education. They stand a better chance at getting whatever it is that they want to get into with whatever it is that they choose to do later on in their lives. So let me just get to it right about now. Registered nurses here in the United States are pretty much get a decent pay. I say decent because I would say probably we are one of the, of course not paid enough, but I would say decent. Decent would be the best word to use at this point. We get at least decent pay for a decent lifestyle, and depending on which career pathway you choose in nursing, really there's actually more. This career is a career that has so many opportunities. It just depends with what you want, where your passion is, and then deciding which passion you choose to go. I believe that you really unlimited options, I would say. Yeah, so registered nurses here in the United States get various pay. Of course, the rates differ depending on the state in which you are in. All right, so your pay would depend on the state where you're in. The higher the cost of living, the higher the pay rate per hour. And then you also look at the type of degree that you have, the number of years of experience that you have also plays a role in that. Yeah, so I would say from my research, the pay will vary from, let's say, $28 per hour to about even $50, $60 an hour, even $70 an hour, depending on which state you're in. Of course, the lowest from nurses.org, the lowest paid I think is South Dakota. The highest paying state is California, of course. And then every other state falls in between. California is the highest paying state here in the United States. We have RNs getting as high as $80 an hour, 85 and more. Yeah, so depending on which state you choose to live in, your pay will be totally dependent on that. Yeah, so if you look at the lowest paying state, that is South Dakota, they're paying like $28 an hour. Of course, they're looking at the cost of living in that state, so probably housing could be cheaper. You're getting $28, you are probably paying $900 for a 2-bedroom apartment. You're looking at all that. How is, the food arrangement, the housing arrangement, probably everything else is cheap. So you are paid low because of the state that you're in, because the cost of living is pretty much low. And then California on the other side is a high paying state, pretty much because the cost of living is also high. You're getting your $80 an hour, and probably you have to pay $3,500, $4,000 per month of rent or mortgage, whatever it is that you have. So each pay rate is dependent on the state that you're in, and then each state definitely is totally dependent on the cost of living. Yeah, so what do we have to look at when you're choosing where to live and all that? Of course, you have to look at the hourly rate, the pay. Yeah, so the good part about nursing is that you have shift differentials too. If you choose to do night shift, other than your best pay, you're going to get your night shift differential. Some places offer $1, some it might be as high as $4 or $5 an hour. So let's say if you are 28, that is an extra $5. And then when you go to weekend differential again, because a lot of people would prefer to be home with their families, you know, do stuff over the weekend. So mostly they'll probably just put in something to encourage people to work over the weekend. So you have also weekend shift differential. Some places would offer you $5. Some places would offer you $10 extra from your best pay. So you're getting your 28 and then plus $10 and then probably plus $5 night shift. So you have that extra $15 over your shift differential. So it also makes a difference. So the other thing that you should look at is also the type of benefits that they're offering, the retirement package. You have to also look at other than retirement package, also look at their insurance. Are they offering health insurance? You also have to look at probably if they offer dental, visual, all those things are some of the things that you have to put into place. Yeah, so I remember when I finished my contract with O'Grady Payton, I started job hunting. So I wanted to give an example on what experience will do for you as well. Experience in the nursing field for a long time will also bump you up a bit. So when I was looking for a job, of course, they'll ask you how many years of experience do you have. Your resume should have all that information. Yeah, so they have, you know, stipulated number or whatever. So probably if you have 1 to 2 years, you're gonna give you so much. Of course, you don't have so much experience. If you have probably 10 years and above, we're gonna give you so much. So the best pay first offer was like $30, and then they said how many years of experience, blah blah blah, and then it went up to about $33 an hour. So you experience also plays a major role. How many years of experience do you have? Also, you can also advocate for yourself and speak up and just try to, you know, negotiate with the HR as they make that offer. You can also talk and convince them that you are worth more. Yeah, so the pay rates, as I said, will depend on the state that you choose to live in. Each state has its own pay rate, you know, and then depending on the cost of living also in that state, that is totally what the pay rates will be. So here, most jobs will pay you per hour. You work, you get paid. You don't work, you don't get paid at all. It's different from where I'm coming from, because I was on a monthly salary. So if I decide to work 15 days in the 30 days of a week, I'll still get paid the same amount of money even after, you know, you can be probably sick and all that, but you still be compensated at home. So I think there's a difference. Here you get to clock in and clock out. So if you don't show up for work, you don't get paid for it. Yeah, so depending also on the number of hours that you put in each week, you can have more money. Yeah, but 36 is good. 36 12-hour shifts is good. If you want to do more, you can go ahead and pick up extra shifts and all that. And then some places would actually even pay you crisis pay, depending on the hospital policy and all that. They have crisis rates and all that stuff. So, and then right about now, we don't really have a lot of staff, you know, a lot of we have a crisis nursing wise, even, you know, CNA wise, just everywhere there's just a crisis. So there are so many opportunities of picking up extra shifts. So if you want extra money, you can pick up those extra shifts and make some extra bucks too. So like I said, you choose the path that works best for you, that works best for your family. So depending on the state that you want to go to, you also have to do your own research, like, you know, crime, you know, the cost of living, the quality of life, and all that stuff. Yeah, so the pay is pretty good, pretty decent, I would say. It's enough money for you to pay your bills and cut out for many more things. So it ranges from about $28 an hour to about, it can go up to 50, 60, 70. Some people are even lucky 80 in California. Yeah, so depending on what state you choose to live in, you can get that much. Yes. So probably let me just also talk about different types of bills that you might you might have to pay here. So other than your rent, of course, you have the renter's insurance. The renter's insurance is not much. Like for this apartment where we're paying about $120. That's for the entire year. I think 180, if I'm not mistaken, $180 for the entire year. Okay, and then you have your car note. If you choose to buy a car, you have your car note, and then you have car insurance that you have to pay. So make sure that you shop around, because insurance varies. You can find the cheapest, you can find the most expensive, so you have to shop around and see what works best for you. And then you have health insurance. So also health insurance, depending on the company that recruited you, also try to shop around and see if you can find the cheaper one. If you're just alone, well and good, but if you have family and everything, you're better off, researching, looking around and finding something that is pretty much affordable for you and for your family, because health insurance here is expensive. I won't beat about the bush. Yeah, so you have your rent, you have your renter's insurance, you have your car insurance, and then depending also on what any other business that you get get into. So food wise, I'd say food is pretty much affordable. Yeah, you on food and groceries, depending on the number of family members that you have, maybe $100 a week, maybe 150, $200 a week. So you just have to learn to live within your means. Yeah, if you are expensive and everything else, you gotta work more and pay those bills. Yeah, so just like I said, the pay is totally dependent on where you are, the state, the experience, the type of degree that you have, and many more other things. So be wise where you choose to live as well. A lot of people will say, oh, California pays well, but the cost of living is whatever. But still, even though the cost of living is high, the money is good, well enough for you to survive and be able to manage. Because when you look at the site I was looking at, California has more nurses. It has over 320,000 nurses. One, it's the best place to live. The nurse-patient ratios are excellent. They have 1 to 4 patient ratios in med-surg floors. They have set a standard, the nurse-patient ratios. I don't think they struggle with staffing compared to the other states. So I think it's just one thing that probably other hospitals in other states have to look into and just probably learn one or two things. Because they have the highest number of nurses so far from the site that I was looking at. They have over 320,000 nurses that are currently working. They are currently registered under the California Board of Nursing. And then you have these other states where you have 11,000 nurses. And then you're ever short-staffed, So probably people need to look into what can they do to make the hospitals better, probably learn 1 or 2 things from California, because they are pretty much doing something right. So this is what I wanted to focus on today. I wanted to focus on the pay. I would say the pay can range from $28 an hour, because we're paid per hour here, to about $60, even $70, even $80 an hour. And then usually the required number of hours is 36 to about 40 hours a week, but you can do more if you want. So depending on your hospital policy, some will let you work up to about 60. Some will say, no, 40 is enough, go home, go grab some rest, come back next week. So depending on your hospital policy. But I would say that the RN pay is pretty decent. Okay, it's pretty decent. And then coming from where I'm coming from, of course, I wouldn't even want to mention how much I was getting paid, because from my Zambian kwacha, if I was to convert it to dollar, it's pretty much I don't even want to say. So even as I put up, when I'm applying for jobs and they ask previous salary or whatever, you list your previous workplace where you're working from, and then there's always that part where you put in the amount of money that you were getting when you're coming from. I would rather not say. Yeah, I'd rather just leave it blank or something. I don't know. Just put 0 there. I don't know. We'll talk during the interview. But I would say RNs here get a decent pay. Yeah, so that's just basically it for about right now. And then there's also travel nursing. So if you choose to be a travel nurse, you get more backs. Yeah, like what happened during the pandemic, of course, we're still going through it, but we had, crisis rates all over the United States of America, and there were crazy rates, as high as $10,000 a week, so it's a career that has so many opportunities. It's a career that has so much going on. So if you want to grow, if you want to do more, this is a career where you can do anything. And then if you're burnt out in one area, you can just switch and find something else. There's always something to do, always something to do. You can just switch up and do something different. It's diverse, and I like that about nursing here, because it's diverse and it's got so many opportunities. Yeah, you look at oncology, you can do med-surg, you can do ICU, you can do ER, you can do cath lab, you can do endoscopy, it's just diverse, and then the opportunity for you to even advance, do your master's, do your family nurse practitioner program, you can do your DNP. There's just growth, nurse and anesthesia, you can do all that. There's just so much that you can do. Just don't limit yourself. So I would say it's a land full of opportunities, full of everything that you'd ever, dream of. It's right here. You just have to know where to go and ask the right questions and ask the right people too. So thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions and everything else, you can reach out to me and just ask. And whenever I have time, I'll probably reach out and, do the needful. Thank you so much for your time. Subscribe, like the video, share with friends, and just let's get this going. Thank you so much.